Hi. An army squad led by a major were on duty through an arduous mountain terrain in biting cold weather and snow. They yearned for a steaming cup of tea. As they kept looking for a tea stall, they finally spotted a dilapidated structure that resembled a tea shop but were unlucky to see it shut. One of the soldiers then suggested that they could break it open and make tea themselves. Now the officer was reluctant, but then seeing the tired look on his soldiers' faces, he finally relented. There was enough tea, there were even cookies inside, and the exhausted men helped themselves and were refreshed. The chief was very uneasy, and so he placed some notes under the sugar container totaling a few thousand rupees to compensate the owner. As they left, the shutters were pulled down. On their way back after a few weeks, they noticed the tea stall open and stopped by. The owner happened to be an old man who was thrilled to see a group of potential customers. All of them ordered tea and biscuits and were chatting with the owner. It transpired that his son was beaten by militants and he had to close his shop to take him to the hospital. But he was short of money for the treatment. So he prayed, but when he returned, he was crestfallen to see his shop broken open. For a moment, he thought he had lost whatever little he had, till he spotted a few thousand rupees under the sugar jar, exactly the money he needed for his son's medicines. "See how God miraculously left this money for me, sir," he proclaimed to the major. As the army jawans and officer heard his narration, they were moved and convinced that God can use any of us to be His messengers. Brothers and sisters, the gospel today is centered around the Beatitudes of how Jesus empowers the poor, the meek, and the humble. How often do we lament, "Oh, without money or influence, we can't get anything done in this world"? That's actually relying on ourselves, relying on others. We may be able to survive for a while, but the truth is that we can thrive when backed by that higher power, Lord Jesus Himself. Cast aside the fame or the shame and focus on His name. Will that be your cup of tea? Thank you for watching this 92nd episode of The Word This Week.